Welcome to the first episode of Check Her Stats. We are all about women's sports platform, and I'll be here to bring you highlights, news, and statistics on some of the best athletes that we rarely ever get to hear about. I am your host, Shaddai, and for my first announcement, I'm happy to say that we are going to have a WNBA season in 2020. We're going to get 22 regular season games plus playoffs starting sometime in July. They're still tweaking out the details. But let's give a round of applause for the union and the WNBA coming to an agreement on paying the players 100% of their salary this season. Round of applause. I'm very happy to hear that because I know that was a big issue. And they're still working out other details such as living conditions and eating arrangements. Because we all know the WNBA is probably living and eating more like 5-star, and they're trying to have the WNBA living and eating like 3-4-star. I don't know why. There should be no excuse why they're not both staying in the same type of places and eating the same type of food. There's no fans in these stands this season. So what's the excuse now? We got to even it out. So hopefully they get that straightened out. I'm sure they will. I'm very sure they will. And if not, we're gonna be hearing about it on my episodes here. But let's stay true. Let's stay true and let's have hope and stay positive with it. Always. I'm just going to be honest and say that this season I can't cover every team. I'm be honest with y'all. This is a growing platform. It's just me. So I'm going to devote myself to covering one team, but I will be highlighting big news of other players or big game stats from other players briefly. But my focus this year is going to be on the Atlanta Dream. They were the worst team in the league last year, finishing 8-26. Ooh. But they're only returning 4 players this year. The 4 players are some vets. They've acquired some rookies in the draft. They've acquired some players in free agency. Big shout out to the head coach, Nikki Collin. I think she's going to turn this team around. I think the players, this group, this is going to be a different team this year. And I'm excited to be covering a team that went from nothing, about to go to something. And as the platform grows, as my knowledge grows more, maybe down the road, I'll be covering more teams. Hopefully add some more people to the team and we can cover teams together. We can debate all day long. That's what I'm here for. I think it's going to be a good WNBA season. We got 22 games. We're gonna have a hard-fought season. And I think the championship is up for grabs this year. The team that comes to play the hardest, work the hardest, grind the hardest, that's the team that's going to walk out with a championship. Not the team that everybody thinks is the best in the room, right? Before I go down the line to get everybody a little bit more familiar with all the players that I'll be covering this year, I want to give a shout out to one of the players before I go down the list of players. Her name is Elizabeth Williams. She is a center for the Atlanta Dream, and she's a member of the union that fights for all the things that the players get in the league. And for those of you who don't know, the WNBA isn't a league of 1,000 players. I believe it's around only 144 players. So thank you, Elizabeth, for standing up for the rest of the league. Your voice and all the other players on the committee, y'all voices are strong. Y'all voices are strong. Y'all voices are being heard. The WNBA, has had an increase in salary recently for the players, which was much needed, and they're gonna continue to fight for the things that they deserve. And I just want to say that we appreciate all the players in the league and the ones that are on the committee. I know not everybody can be on the committee, but I just wanted to give that quick little shout out. Now, let's go down the list of players that I'm going to be covering this year. First on the list is Monique Billings. She played with the Atlanta Dream last year, averaged 5.5 points per game, 6.9 rebounds, right? Some of her attributes: athleticism, aggressiveness, Much needed. Thank you. Right? The next player. This player was acquired in the draft this year. Brittany Brewer. Played for Texas Tech in 2019. Averaged 16.6 points per game and 10 rebounds per game. Much needed addition to the team. She's bringing scoring, which the team struggled in last year, and she's bringing some down low presence. She can finish around the rim. Why not get her? The next player is Kalani Brown. Averaged 5.1 points per game and 3.5 rebounds. Played for the LA Sparks. She's a low block player and can run the floor. Now, LA has a different type of environment. They have a different type of aura, right? So we're bringing that LA Sparks aura over to Atlanta Dream, something I like to see. Now, my favorite on the team, one of my favorites, we got a few. One of my favorites on the team, Chandni Carter. She was acquired in the draft this year. Played for Texas A&M in 2019. Averaged 21.3 points per game and 4.4 rebounds. She is elite. I personally think she will be up and running for Rookie of the Year. We will see if she gets it. Next, Blake Dietrich. She's a three-point shooter. She used to play for Atlanta Dream. Headed over to Seattle. Now she's back in Atlanta. Let's see if she gets an opportunity to get some of those 3 points off and get some wins for us, right? Next is, shout out to the veteran, Tiffany Hayes. She is also a UConn alum, so you should have a special place in my heart because I love all my UConn alums, right? She averaged 14.7 points per game and 3 rebounds last year for Atlanta Dream. She's a scorer, she's a leader, and I consider her a veteran. Next is Glory Johnson. Averaged 8.4 points per game, 6.7 rebounds. Played for Dallas last year. She's a scorer and she's a rebound. These are the two things that the Atlanta Dream needs to turn around. They need scoring and they need rebound. They also need some defense, but they need to be able to put all these things together and work as a team. The next player on the list is Alexis Jones. She averaged 4 points per game and 1.8 per assist last year with the LA Sparks. She's a ball handler and she's a shooter, right? Again, very happy to hear another player from the LA Sparks is coming over to the Dream. Shekinah Strickland averaged 9 points per game and 1.9 rebounds last year for Connecticut. She's a shooter, and I like to consider her a veteran. And Connecticut has a great basketball environment. They've done very well recently in the past, so I would say that it's great to have someone with that type of experience on this Atlanta team that is going to turn around and make a nice little run. Second to last, we have Courtney Williams, averaged 13.2 points per game and 3.8 assists last year for Connecticut. She's a shooter and a ball facilitator in my eyes. Again, another experienced player on the Dream to just turn that leaf around, and I'm excited. And last but not least, Elizabeth Williams averaged 10.1 points per game and 6.2 rebounds last year for the Atlanta Dream. She's an all-around player. She's a low block player. And we are going to need to see this great mixture of players we have here come together, build chemistry in this short season in order for it to be a successful one. What are my thoughts? They definitely won't be the last team in the league this year. I can guarantee you that. They have too much power, right? They have a lot of power. The only thing that worries me is the chemistry. But I'm leaning on Coach. I'm leaning on Coach for that. Coach, you got to get them together. If they can gel together, this team is going to be lethal. I'm going to say it now. They're going to be lethal. People don't know what to expect of this team because it's a whole new team. They're only returning 4 players. They got rid of some people. Now this is a whole new team. How do you scout? It's tough, right? It's very tough, but I'm going to continue to report on any great things that this team is doing, as well as any amazing statistical things that all the other players are doing in the league. For now, we're going to finish off this episode with just that. I hope everybody enjoyed. I hope everybody learned about some new amazing athletes that are out there. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Check Her Stats. Follow us on Twitter at Check Her Stats. I appreciate everybody for watching. Have a great rest of your day.